first map of the day will be played on Bel'Shir Vestige. Spawning up in the top left-hand position as the red Protoss from KT Rolster. His name is Zest, nickname Pichagab, formerly Wookiee.
Whoa, his opponent is moving out on the map.
Here we go, guys. I don't even know if we'll get a Stork introduction here.
Jesus.
Stork, though, he's the kind of guy that will pull off something like this. This is when you have to fear Stork. I remember a lot in the earlier rounds. He would do a lot of very cheesy play, but it would be very smart and it would work very well against his opponent here.
Well, let's see what kind of cheesy he's going to do. I think he's going to hide the probe inside the main base in that right bottom little corner and build some gateways.
I would not be surprised. Sending out a probe that early means a big commitment from your side of the game here. And I guess the real question here is going to be, will we go for 1 or 2 gateways?
Well, if it's inside the main base, it's a heavy commitment, so I expect 2 gateways.
Yeah, that does make sense there. 1 gateway is going up here. Will the second go up? That is the question here. He is saving up the resources, not making any more probes, so it's going to look like we're going to see that second gateway go up here. And
10.
there it is. Okay.
So let's see what he does now. Usually they scout around the main base at the 13 gateway. Some players like to scout around his main base after the geyser to make sure that the proxy play is not happening. But Zest, he shut it out of his mind. He is not expecting this from Stork. He's not going for the scouting. Well, what do you think?
What do I think? Well, unless Zest sees this quite soon here, he's going to simply die to the pressure.
Yeah, even if he gets a Mothership Core out, that's so far in the future. You can get all the probes with the 2 Zealots, and there you go.
Yeah, and we're not seeing any scouting whatsoever from Zest here. You know, building all of his tech structures, not even bothering to get any Zealots out, not even scouting. So, you know, it's gonna be almost impossible for Zest to scout this here. And the Zealots coming in with the first probe. Probe's immediately getting pulled off the mineral line here. Going to try to attack the Zealot. Do some damage here before any additional Zealots come out. No probes lost quite yet for Zest here. Good micro on his end. But his time is running out here because, you know what? The extra Zealots, when they come out, man, it's going to be so hard to defend. Zest can make a Mothership Core here. I imagine that's what he's going to build right now. He has the resources for it, but not going for it quite yet. He's going for a Stalker instead and just trying to delay time with his probes, but you know, Stork's already got a lot of probes out right now.
And those Zealots are just tearing apart every single one of those probes. Look at the probe count falling right now. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. And even if he gets a Mothership Core out and a Stalker out, well, this is looking really grim for Zest.
Yeah, he's already lost almost all of his probes there. The Mothership Core is out. The Stalker is out as well. Only 2 Zealots out for Stork right now, and this aggression may actually be held off by Zest. The biggest issue right now, though, is the worker count. Zest cannot lose any more probes whatsoever here, and the aggression is thwarted, but
the Zealots are still coming in, and all Stork needs to do right now is get the assimilator, put down a second pylon over there while sneaking in a probe, and once he gets 1 or 2 Stalkers out, the game is over. So can Zest buy enough time? This Zealot might change the game.
That's right. We have a Zealot from Zest moving across the map here to his opponent's base. As long as Zest doesn't lose any more workers here and continues to build them and eventually stopping the Zealot aggression, he will be fine. Stork is being very smart right now, continuing to build a few Zealots here and there. He just needs to delay his opponent essentially for as long as possible. Getting a Cybernetics Core up right now, and as long as Stork keeps preventing the Stalker and the Mothership Core from attacking the pylon that's powering those 2 gateways, he's going to be fine there. Nexus Cannon going down, that's going to prevent these Zealots from really doing too much damage here. This may allow the Mothership Core and the Stalker to focus on that pylon. Now one of the Zealots is in the main base of Stork here. That Zealot got 3 kills. Going to try to, you know, even things out a little bit here, but that Zealot is almost dead. Gets taken out by Stork's probes.
But look at the pylon, it's going down, and where, like I said, he needed a second pylon inside the main base. This is going to hurt Stork a lot. Now there's a Mothership Core going down. The gateway is on its way, but the Mothership Core and the Stalker can take out a lot of probes by Stork.
That's true. Stork is at 16 probes here, but he is so far behind on tech. And remember, guys, Mothership Cores cannot attack other Mothership Cores. They can only attack ground units. So, you know, once Stork's Mothership Core gets into, or sorry, Zest's Mothership Core gets into Stork's main base, he's going to kill off a lot of workers.
Yeah, well, Stork, he has a Mothership Core coming out, 2 gateways. He needs to Chrono Boost out a Stalker right away. That's what he needs to do.
Yes, and that's exactly what he's doing here. The Mothership Core just completed here. We're going to have to see Zest try to go for a good amount of kills here on these probes. Stork doing his best to micro them away from that Mothership Core here, and you know what? Stork, he's buying a good amount of time here. That Stalker is going to finish quite soon. 1 probe goes down, 2 goes down. Will we see these 3 weak ones over here in the corner go down?
Not just yet. The Stalker is in position, so now Stork, if he can take down the Stalker, then he's going to be in good position. So both players, they have the same number of probes right now. Actually, Zest slightly ahead at this point, but Stork does have the 2 gateways.
So Stork, he did a lot of damage early on, but he wasn't able to completely kill his opponent here. You know, Zest, he bought a lot of time with his probes, you know, dancing them around early on in the game. Stargate follow-up from Zest here, very interesting. And his Warp Gate is almost complete, but not going to complete before Stork's.
Yeah, Stork is just Chrono Boosting that out right now and wants to go for the pressure and still finish the game right away. The gateways are still inside the main base, but unpowered. If Stork had a 2nd pylon or a 3rd pylon right now, then he could warp in and finish the game, but that is not going to be the case, and seems like we're going to go into a funky mid-game scenario in this situation. So,
you know what's funny? The last time we had PvP on Bel'Shir Vestige, we also had a very funky PvP.
That is quite true. So we have a Phoenix coming out, and what is Stork going to do? Is he going to try to go into some different tech, or is he going to try to finish the game as early as possible? We have a Sentry coming out, which means that without the probe inside the main base, all Zest has to do is force field the ramp.
That's true, you can just force field that off, it'll be perfectly safe. Stork going for a Stargate of his own here. The biggest issue, though, is that Zest, he's got a Stargate up way before Stork here. Stork will be able to get a little bit of scouting information over here in Zest's main base. He should spot those Phoenixes, and we may go into a Phoenix battle here. But, you know, the person who has the Stargate first and has the Phoenix out first is going to have a big advantage. Nice force field going down here. Stork, you know, he has a lot of Stalkers here. The Mothership Cannon going down. That Mothership Core isn't going to go down. It does go down. A 2nd force field is used here, and 2 Stalkers are going down. That other one, very low on health, will get taken out as well. Stork, he can move up in the main base, but, I mean, he's got the Mothership Nexus Cannon up right now.
And look at this, Zest not being able to move out on the map because he knows that the Stalkers are over there and those can finish the game. So now he's making a Void Ray, a defensive Void Ray, which is going to favor Stork a little bit because now he has enough time to get his own Phoenixes out.
That's true. And one of the reasons why I got that defensive Void Ray is because, you know what, he doesn't know what his opponent's doing yet. He could think, based on the Stalker count, you know, it's Blink All In or something like that. But that's not the case here. These Phoenix will scout off that Mothership Core, and they see the Stargate as well. So Zest knows what's going on. And if I was Zest right now, I'd be feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, well, Stork also has to be... Stork, once he sees a Void Ray, he should be feeling comfortable because now he's done a nice job trying to catch up in the Phoenix count. Before, it was going to be like, you know, 3-0 situation. Now it's only 3-3.
Yeah. So they've managed to even out the Phoenix count here quite well. And do we? It looks like we don't even see that Void Ray out from Zest here, so I guess he canceled it
at the very last second.
Very smart play by him, actually, because, you know what, the Void Ray, he doesn't really need that in this situation.
Yeah, and you're wasting 200 minerals, 150 gas into a Void Ray that's useless. It's better to get a Nexus up while saving up 150 more minerals while going for the Phoenix.
All right, so it looks like the Phoenix is getting caught out here. This could be very bad for Zest. Luckily, did not lose any of those Phoenix there, but that could have definitely happened. Stork is definitely the aggressor this game. You can tell that Zest really wants to get aggressive, but he's unable to.
Well, Zest has to play a little more defensive right now because he's getting a Nexus. Stork, I don't see him taking on Nexus. Okay, there we go. Finally taking a Nexus of his own.
No.
So it's like iffy situation for both of these players. They want to go for the all-in, especially Stork since he started off really aggressive, but both players kind of do it at this point.
Alright, so the Phoenix are moving in here. I think Zest, he got a good engagement here. He's killing off a lot of them. But the Stalkers reinforcing here are going to help Stork keep those few Phoenixes alive. But the count now, 3-6, that's going to make Zest a happy camper here, because if you are ahead in the Phoenix count, even by a few, you will win it pretty solidly if you have an all-out war.
What Stork has to do right now is take down 2 assimilators at the natural base and get a second Stargate right away. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
If you're behind in Phoenix count, all you can do is play defensive and get as many Phoenix out for yourself as much as possible. Look at this hallucinated Phoenix. Getting sniped off, but Zest knows that his opponent's expansion is slightly later, but his gas at the natural is slightly later than Stork's.
Alright, well, it looks like Zest finally will have the opportunity to get aggressive here on the map. He is moving out with his pretty large Phoenix count there, up to 8 right now, compared to the 5 of his opponent. And if he can just move in there and trade evenly with Stork, he's just going to get ahead even more in the Phoenix count and overall in the game, because when you go to that Phoenix Wars, Phoenix player wins.
Zest knows how to play this PvP Wars, because remember, those Phoenix Wars, when we first saw in Heart of the Swarm, Zest was the one who got the victory on this particular map. Stork getting a second Stargate on his own, but the Stargates are not going to be enough unless Zest skips out on Phoenixes.
Mothership core getting pretty low there, forcing a Nexus cannon down, but no units really die on each side here. Zest does scout, the second Stargate though, so he's going to be at least in the know about that. And he'll be like, alright, cool, I'm getting my second Stargate as well. Easy peasy.
Both players going for the fleet beacon right away, so, you know, if one player does not go for the fleet beacon, there's a huge timing window where the opponent can get a lot of Phoenixes out, and before the range finishes, you can just storm in and finish the game. But that is not going to be the case because both players are going for the same tech. However, because Zest took the assimilator at the natural a little bit later, he's going to be slightly behind on gas, which means that it gives Stork some time to catch up in the Phoenix count. Look at the Phoenix count right now, 10-9. We had pretty much a 3 to 4 difference before, now it's only down to 1.
That's true. The Phoenix count really starting to even out here. Not seeing any upgrades quite yet from either players in the Phoenix Wars. Overall, not the biggest deal compared to the range upgrade here, which is being researched now. The range upgrade is really what will win a Phoenix War if a player has that over the other one instead of a +1 attack or armor.
Range first before all the other upgrades.
Alright, Zest continuing to try to do some scouting here. I love that he has control over the middle of the map as well. That is going to help him out, and it'll allow him to intercept his opponent's Phoenixes as well.
That is quite true, which means that Stork, he can't move out at all because, yes, his Phoenixes will get intercepted, but also remember, he's been behind in the Phoenix count throughout the whole game, so he's just staying inside the main base, and if he really wants to drag it into the game, it's better for him to take a third base right now and get a third Stargate.
That's really cool, because you know what? We have not seen a third Stargate go up this fast on 2 bases in PvP really yet.
2 bases, triple Stargate is a little iffy, as in, like, you're going to try to dump all of the gases and the minerals, but you're not going to have any ground army, so Zest, he's relying on his Phoenix. He's relying on the fact that he is going to win the Phoenix War no matter what.
Alright, here. Both players have their Phoenixes clumped up pretty well here. We should see a Nexus cannon going down from one player or the other. It's kind of hard to tell right now who's really winning in the Phoenix Wars here. I think Zest did manage to get a slightly better trade here, though.
I think it was an even trade.
Alright,
looking at the pure
11
numbers.
to 8. So it looks like Zest may have gotten a little bit better of a trade here. Stork now, you know, he's got to be on the defensive here, trying to snipe off a few units here. But the Phoenix are moving in. We're going to have a Phoenix War now. Nexus cannon goes down. And we're going to see Zest move back up. He wants to stay out of the range of that Mothership cannon.
This is really looking hard for Stork. He's down in the Phoenix count. He can't engage into this. He does have the better ground army, but all Zest has to do is warp in more units and start lifting up the ground army from Stork.
Actually, a little bit surprised we didn't see Zest lift off some of the Zealots there.
Yeah, he should have committed to it. I mean, by any means, he had he had 2 Stalkers, so maybe that was the reason why he was so scared to lift them off, but he was going to win the engagement if he actually lifted everything.
And Nexus Cannon going down. We're having more Phoenix Wars here, and it's 16 to 7. You know, it looks like Zest is going to win this Phoenix War. It's so hard to catch up at this point in the Phoenix Wars for Stork. It's going to be almost impossible for him. And another thing to add on to that, the 3rd Stargate for Zest. Stork doesn't have that. He doesn't even know about it.
He can't know about it because he can't move out on the map at all, Whiplash. And now Stork, he's down to 2 bases. He needs to take a 3rd base right away, but even taking a 3rd base is really risky at this point. Final battle by Stork.
And nice use of that Guardian Shield there. He was able to deflect a few of the shots in there. 15-4. We're going to see some liftoffs happen very shortly here from Zest's army. It even looks like he may manage to win the ground battle. Yes, he does manage to win that. Coming back from a proxy 2-gate, Zest, he knows how to play PvP here. And Stork, it looks like he is going to be forced to the GG any second here. The Phoenix is now lifting up all of Stork's grubs. GG! Zest takes game number 1.
I feel like he showed the Zealot too early with the proxy 2-gate. Usually you wait until 2 or 3 Zealots to storm in, and your opponent goes like, oh my god, there's Zealots in my base. If you only show 1, they're like, oh, I know what's happening right now, so I'll just start chrono boosting units out. And Zest had enough time to set the game plan starting from then. If he saw 3 Zealots, then he would have GG'd right away.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost impossible if you don't scout the 3 Zealots, but Stork went in there maybe a little bit prematurely. And, you know, he did do a lot of damage. He almost killed his opponent, but, you know, didn't end up working in the end.
So next set is going to be New Fighting Spirit, and who is Samson Khan going to send out?